How does it feel for you to just be back on the field?
It felt great. Yesterday, first day, energy was great. You know, that first day energy always flowing. It was great to get out there with the guys again, and also the young guys, new guys, getting a feel for them. That was great.
Who are some of those new guys, Isaiah, that you've seen so far that are standing out to you?
Yeah, one of the most popular ones is the quarterback situation. You know, you got Luke Altmyer, John Paddock. You got Cal. That's a new guy coming in, young guy. Them three guys stand out. Canary in the receiver room. He reminded me so much of myself when I first switched. Just young, athletic, super gifted. He's super gifted. He had talent. I feel like he real raw, need to be developed, but super talented guy. And that's one guy who stand out to me at the receiver position. Young guy.
How does Luke work with the dynamic of the locker room and you guys? I can't help. It's just a totally different personality than Tommy. Let's just be honest.
It's way different. You know, Tommy more the cool guy, like laid back. He'll get to people one-on-one. I feel like Luke more he cool too, but he more I feel like the love you type guy, you know, more affectionate. That's the way I put it. But I think he's doing great as far as in the locker room. I think he trying his best and doing a great job getting to know everybody well, meeting all the guys. I remember first time we ran routes, making sure we throwing to everybody. But I feel like he's just a humble guy, and I feel like when you're a humble guy, it's easy to relate to everybody.
How much easier is it this year coming off wins and bowl and contending and all that? How much easier is it more of a spring and a step in the spring for you guys?
Yeah, I feel like it's just more confidence going into the spring. I feel like it give us a sense like we know we have the talent and we know we have what it takes to win games. Now we just got to put it all together and just learn how not to lose them close games.
Does the last game kind of drive you a little bit, the way that ended? I knew you were part of the lateral play, but
yeah, the last few games, Michigan State, Purdue, right. I feel like all them games left a lasting effect because all them games was one-score games. We know we could have won them games, but them was great teams. They ended up with the win, but all we could do now is just learn from them and move forward into the future.
Have you noticed any difference of maybe being able to go from last year to the bowl game, bowl prep, to winter workouts right into spring, just to have kind of some continuity there? Maybe it's all just one leads into the next.
Can you repeat that question again?
Have you noticed any difference just being able to maybe have just sustained football since last August almost, with all the stuff that you guys have done with bowl prep?
You saying like leading up to now?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like it gives us a lot of confidence. And one thing is them close games that we lost, it just gives us more motivation that it's more. It's more that needs to be done, more football knowledge, do more in the weight room, do more on the field to win them close games.
It's like being in this offensive system for a year now. How different is this starting point than last year? Where have you kind of learned?
Yeah, I feel like last year was more about learning. You going out there, not trying to make a mistake. I feel like this year, I know the offense. So now it's kind of about me putting my own swagger on stuff, on certain routes. I know what we have. I know what the quarterback looking for. So now I can find more creative ways to get open. So now it's just being more creative since I know what I'm doing now, knowing the plays. Now I can just be a little bit more creative.
When you look at Luke, is there a chip? Like, it seems like he carries a little chip on his shoulder of, his Ole Miss experience wasn't what he wanted it to be, and now he's got to prove it again here.
Yeah, I feel like you most definitely can feel that chip on his shoulder. And the crazy thing is, I didn't really notice it during the workouts. You could tell he was a hard worker. But when we got on that field yesterday, you could tell he had that chip. He just got that dog in him. He's just a leader. And he got a different type of swagger than Tommy, but he got a swagger that people could get behind and follow.
Is it unfair to maybe label him not as vocal? Is he as vocal enough out there that he can take that leader tag?
Yeah, I feel like, and when it comes to being a leader, I feel like when you're the new guy, it's hard to just come in and be vocal. That takes time. I feel like he did it the right way. He came in, he led by example. Guys know he about his business, and as time go when we figure out who the guy is, then that's when it's time to be more vocal. And at certain times he is very vocal. When I'm not doing something right or I'm not at the right depth, he'll say something. Or when I do a great job, he say something. So at times he's vocal, but I think he's great when it comes to leading by example.
What's important for you this spring, Isaiah, for you to improve upon?
The biggest thing for me is a couple things. First, I want to be a vocal leader in that receiver room. Being vocal, making sure them guys hear my voice, when something ain't right, making sure it's known. I feel like the last few years I tried to lead by example. I feel like that was decent, but now it's time to be more of a vocal leader. So that's one of my biggest goals. And the crazy thing is I just thought about this last night, and it was nothing really about me. I kind of just want to be the best for this team. One thing I said this year, I was thinking about this last night, and I was like, this year I really want to focus on fulfilling the people around me needs. Like when my brothers need something, like I want to be that leader, that guy that they look up to. And that's kind of my biggest thing. I feel like the first day I did an okay job, but I could be even better. Just making sure I'm just that leader on the field and just making sure everything going right from a vocal standpoint.
Why is that important for you to take that on
Because
for this team to succeed?
I feel like I done been in college for a while, so I kind of I know some things. I feel like I don't have it all figured out, but I know some things and just some things that the young guys haven't seen, and I feel like I can help them in a way. And me being vocal and me telling them things, I feel like eventually it's gonna hit them. But if I just let them do what they want to do, and just do things that's not gonna help them, then I feel like I'm failing them in a way. But if I'm that guy who, hey bro, this ain't gonna work, I can help them in a way, and that could help that transition go even smoother for them. And I feel like that's huge.
What's your connection like with Luke? On the field, I know it's only day one, right? But you guys feel like you have a little bit there?
Yeah, I feel like we got something there. But with all the quarterbacks special. Didn't get to really take a lot of reps with John the first day, but even watching him, I felt like he was special. Took a lot of reps with Donovan too, with Larry. And I feel like we got something with all them guys. All them guys, they can spin it around. I feel like it's going to be a great competition.
You lost some of those 6-year guys, Palcio and the city was here forever. Is that part of what you're kind of feeling like, hey, we got a little void here, I got to be part of that answer there?
And then the special thing about them guys, I feel like they left a lasting mark on their position groups.
Okay.
You got guys like Sid, he was a big brother to Matthew Bailey.
Okay.
So now Matthew Bailey kind of learned from Sid, now he teaching them guys. And I feel like in the receiver room, we kind of was missing it. And I feel like part of that is on me. We didn't have that big brother that kind of just was. And when I leave here, I want to have a lasting mark when it comes to things like that. Just guys just knowing, laying the foundation, and guys just picking up on the foundation and just running with it and doing it even better.
Your defense is ranked basically first in the country last year, a bunch of things. Do you ever get a chance to watch them during a game, or no? Are you too wound up in what you're doing yourself?
Yeah, a lot of times I'm too wound up in offense, trying to figure stuff out with Coach McDonald and Coach Lunny, and then the quarterback too. So I kind of don't get to watch them. I plan on watching them a little bit on film, but the only time I really get to watch them is when I go against them.
Right.
And when we go against them, I most definitely see how special they are.
Okay. You appreciate them, kind of what they do.
Yeah, I appreciate them. So it kind of gives me a little chip on my shoulder, to just go make plays on them every practice, because you're going against one of the best defenses in the nation. So it kind of gives you that motivation to just go make plays on them.
Were you around for Pro Day? Were you here? Did you watch it? What did you think about that? Because that'll be you maybe next year, year after. What did you think about that whole thing?
I feel like one thing I took about that was the testament of Coach Tank's strength program.
Okay.
All them guys just putting up crazy numbers. I feel like all you could do is kind of see that correlation with Coach Tank's program and how he's doing a great job when it comes to us, is getting our body right, getting our mind right, all of those things. And also just them guys just watching them guys, it gave me motivation, honestly. Even the combine, watching
Different positions,
yeah,
but yeah.
watching Sid, Quan, and watching Chase, watching how them guys test, it just gave me motivation because it was just like I was just working out with them guys, and now them guys were some of the better testers at the combine, so it gave me a lot of motivation.
I take it you watched the draft this year. I mean,
yeah,
you got
most definitely, I'll watch the draft.
and you dealt obviously with the first round pick in practice. Did you see that coming with him? I mean, again, you guys work against each other. Did you realize? When did you realize he could be special?
I feel like we always knew that
Okay.
Spoon was special, but I feel like nobody really knew how special he would be, you know, as far as like people talking about he'd be a top 10 draft pick. I remember talking about him last year. I'm like, yeah, this dude good, because it was just hard to create great separation on him. But like halfway during the season, I was like, yeah, he could be a top 3 round draft pick, but I never thought it'd be top 10, honestly. But we always knew he was a special player, and he had some special talents.
Isaiah, what do you think the wide receiver core needs to do to take a step forward this year, and what do you want to accomplish in the spring?
The biggest thing is just route discipline. I feel like Coach McDonald laid out a great foundation and a great plan for this spring, and I feel like just following his lead. You know, I feel like he's a great coach. He know what he's doing. So us just following him and learning from him, that would be one of the biggest things. And then getting on the same page as the quarterback and just being able, just showing everybody that we can make plays. Like, I feel like our receiver room is very talented, and I feel like when we are given opportunities, like we could make plays, but like we just got to do it more consistently on a consistent basis and just show everybody that.
The fact that you have 3 starters back, that should help with the consistency, right? And
Yeah.
how does that help a guy like Luke too, with the experience you guys have?
It's huge, like having and most definitely with the same system. You got 3 guys back who started last year, but we also in the same system. I feel like that's huge. I feel like it makes Luke's job way easier. Because we kind of, you know, we've been against Big Ten defenses, we went against the SEC defenses, went against all these great defenses, and we showed in them games like we can make plays. So with that experience, we just hoping to do it again at a higher capacity.
Coach talked about taking kind of the ceiling that was offensively last year, then maybe making that now the floor and building from that. I guess, how do you go about doing that? Like, what's important to not maybe regress or backslide and build off maybe those peaks?
First thing I think is all of us talking the same language. And I feel like Coach Lunny has done a great job with that, so that we all on the same page. For example, we got stuff like DBO, like we don't beat ourselves. Because I feel like a lot of times last year we beat ourselves with turnovers, penalties, and mental errors. We got to be able to see signals fast. So we got this thing called SKP, see fast, know fast, play fast. And just taking that language that's universal in our offensive meeting room and putting it onto the field. And I feel like